unfortunately been super aware how much console gets played in LATAM, and more specifically, have they embraced the new point on it?
Well, not a huge amount, and I haven't seen too many people go to the new point. It tends to be mostly EU teams that do that, and I think at this point we just know what the operator ban's going to be.
Yeah, I've already written them down. Lion, Blitz, Clash, Mirror.
Honestly, I would like to see a Blackbeard or a Valkyrie ban here, especially knowing how much FaZe likes to run out and use Valkyrie on this kind of map.
Yeah, I think obviously removing Valk is a big step, because it also, if she's not removed, it forces most teams to bring IQ. You kind of need to shut that down.
This is also one of the maps where, again, Mirror isn't that strong, so FaZe might actually not ban out the Mirror here and might go for something a little bit different, maybe like an Echo or a Maestro. And there it will be. An Echo.
I'm going to have to cross out something I've already written down. That's kind of irritating. Gosh darn. But hey, that leaves, obviously, Immortals, and they have pretty consistently throughout this entire thing banned off Clash. I do not expect that to change, however.
Yeah, it is going to be a Clash. So, only one ban that was different. It's been the first time that FaZe, I think it's the first time that FaZe haven't banned the Mirror.
Well, they in the previous game, in these games, yes. They generally banned off Clash, but I guess they're comfortable knowing Immortals, who have also continually just banned off Clash, are going to ban off Clash, so they went on to Mirror instead, and then this time they don't want to go against that Echo. And to be fair, although, as I said, towards the end of that, Echo wasn't used massively, he was used, but he wasn't the most influential thing in terms of actually stopping the plants. The diffuser went down almost every single round in the previous setup, but they know they like to bring them. They know Immortals like to have the Echo, so why not get rid of him?
Yeah, why not get rid of him? Indeed. Let's go through as we see a cafeteria and garage defense coming out here from Immortals. I mean, of course, you have access to the Mirror. This is potentially the best site on this map to use the Mirror. Why not go for it?
They also have the Valk as well, as it's called. Consular and Valk is such a brutal combination. The big, huge flat sides, you can get really long sight lines across any kind of entrance, and then you can back those up with picks and peeks that we know LATAM love to do. FaZe haven't bought an IQ to hunt that down, which I guess we'll see how much that comes to bite them in the future, but otherwise, it'll be interesting to see how much they kind of rely on PX and that Valkyrie knowledge. It feeds so much to a defense having Valk here.
Yeah, no, it definitely does. And, I mean, now these two teams, FaZe, are more known for sort of using Valkyrie very, very effectively. But, you know, these are all Pro League teams. They all know how to use Valkyrie, although I would have kind of liked to see an IQ come out from FaZe, since we did see them bringing an IQ last time.
Yeah, for sure. She's useful in a lot of situations. Also, on a map like this where you know she's going to have a use. You know at least every single round you're going to be using her to hunt down these cameras. You're going to be using her to get rid of a very big operator ability and a lot of information. Because if you don't, that's so much in the hands of the defense. There's so much information. It's too much information for the defenders.
It is a lot of information for the defenders. Yeah, indeed. Let's see exactly how it is going to go down as we move into round number 1. We're going to see how Immortals are going to hold on to this. And I'm expecting just 2 mirrors just facing into Garage here. As Astro trying to find the first frag of the round, but unable to find one. But wow, you're getting fairly aggressive with it outside the bathroom there. It's amazed me how much Legion roam we've seen.
Yeah, they're kind of always pushing the boat out here on what you could do with operators, but Legion roam playing far off point, early indicators as well with those traps set up. I will comment on how quickly they managed to get down that garage wall. They straight in there, wasted no time, blew it open, and they're just only using that for information. Yeek, there you go. Legion trying to find one of those picks, but Astro gets the opening frag. Hunted Novus, in the meantime, gets the return against Cameraman. And last time we saw Novus was playing around yellow stairs, so just kind of locked off on the opposite side. How are FaZe going to start approaching this?
Yeah, I mean, There's been opening frags for both sides. Now Nova's going to be moving through onto yellow as Cyber finds the head of Astro. Still looking pretty good for Immortals, playing pretty aggressively on this roam, but it's working out for them. They're not actually getting roam cleared out here. In fact, they're the ones who are clearing out FaZe as Cyber finds yet another one. Mav going to go down, and that's a 2v4 already. Not looking too good for FaZe, unless he's trying to push onto the objective and find some frags, but they will not able to. Moringa goes down to PX, all down to Yuna. He finds one onto one, but no, the Nitro will go off. That finds him, and he will go down.
That is the opening round win for Immortals. That is how they started on the previous map as well. They opened with a round win, and then it got better and better for them. But again, FaZe, you've got to kind of look at your lineup there. You got the opening frag. You never really took, well, they never really took control. I say you, they're not listening, I hope, but they never really started to take control of the map. They were quick to get it open and then kind of hit a bit of a wall at that yellow stairs.
Yeah, no, they definitely did. Let's push through into round number 2 and see how exactly it's going to go down. Immortals with a very strong start, it would seem, to try and knock out FaZe here. I mean, they've brought them to the third map. It seems that FaZe aren't too used to dealing with a fairly aggressive Immortals here. But I feel like with the way that FaZe are going to play this, that they're not going to concentrate that much on vertical play, and therefore a console offense defense might not be as effective. You might be looking at the lineup and you might be saying, okay, there's a Book, there's a Jackal, there's a Zofia. That's plenty of soft destruction. Why wouldn't they concentrate on the vertical play? And it's kind of because there's a Blackbeard, and I think the Jackal's been brought here more for the smokes than anything else.
Yeah, so it's, I mean, Blackbeard on this point especially being, as long as you're sure that no one's going to run out of that bottom door there and get those frags, you can hold those angles so powerfully. It is one of those maps and one of those points where you'd be kind of foolish not to bring him. You can already see Moringa's drone setting up around that side, setting up around those windows as well. Theoretically, a lot of teams, what they like to do at this point is they'll set up to hold those rotations and start pushing across from admin office on the other side. Slowly and steadily clear the 4, push them in to your Blackbeard. Be the anvil and let the hammer strike. But again, it'll be interesting to see. And I will say, Immortals, for all the mentioned of Valkyrie being too much information, they haven't bought her.
No, which is kind of surprising on this particular site, considering how most teams, especially the fact that FaZe are bringing the Blackbeard, tend to concentrate quite heavily on the fact that there's a lot of windows on console and tend to replay quite a lot, but then that gives rise to quite a lot of runouts and that kind of aggressive play. And Valkyrie supports that, but we're not actually going to see a Valkyrie from Immortals, which is kind of surprising.
We are, in the meantime, going to see a Thatcher, but with no hard destruction to kind of double up. So you've got to think, well, how's Yuna going to go with this? How's he going to take this? Don't get me wrong, Thatcher is BFFs with the hard destructors. That doesn't mean that's his only tool. It can be utilized in other more interesting and more creative ways. So it'll be nice to see what they do with him. You playing downstairs in lobby, potentially waiting for the run out again. And no, Stanham's mentioned vertical control, how important it is for this map, and how important it is to play it. At the same time, so is running out, so is roaming, so is being aggressive, which we know these guys can do.
And but there go the first 2 picks. Moringa and Astro both going to get fine picks. Astro finds the run out, and Moringa will find one of his own onto Cyber. So it's already a 5v3 situation, not looking too good here for Immortals, as FaZe start to gain quite a lot of control. And I love this angle from Astro because he's actually elevated onto the side there, but Novi's is going to shut down Cameraman as he tries to repel rather foolishly early into admin.
X trying to hold the tight angle there at the top of the stairs, going to pull away really far back, going to go for the reset on Novus. That's how you do it. If anyone watching, please defend a reset through a wall, don't just shoot them, oh please. But Mav has used that opportunity to actually enter, found that the angle wasn't being watched, whether that was just pleasant timing, because Mira was watching that very intently. They knew they were going to do that, and they utilized that time. Blackbeard's taken a fair bit of damage, has the diffuser as well, so they need to start bringing him a little bit closer to the team, a little bit closer to the action, and Smoke is starting to push back, trying to regain the ground that PX lost during the reset.
Definitely, but it is a 4v3. Lots of utility still on the board here for FaZe to try and make their way in. and see exactly what they can do here. Pre-Fires are going to come down to try and take out the drones, and they will do successfully. Quick Peek's coming out, and Novice is going to go for the Pre-Fires, but the nade comes out that takes down PX. Beautiful nade coming out there from Mav, as flashbangs do go down, so field charges go out, but Novice finds the kill onto Moringa. Smokes go out, but Astro pushes up regardless, and that was all into the hands of Novice. Finds yet another kill, Yuna goes down, and it's going to be all to Novice to try and win this. He knows the diffuser is down, and where it is, he takes down Astro. Beautiful shot from Novice, but the diffuser does get recovered by Mav, but Novice, he takes another one off the board. Mav is out of it. Immortals take round number 2. Beautiful plays coming out from the Maestro of Novice.
Absolute masterclass there, and I guess he could say he owes it to the mirror reset. Let's not play off, it's a team game utility reset, but wow, that was lambs to a slaughter. And we mentioned before, the hammer, the anvil, you push them into your holding rotation player, but they just ran straight in to Maestro, one at a time, side to side. He kind of looks a little bit like Panic, if anything. Novus 6-0 on the scoreboard right now.
Absolutely beautifully played from the Maestro there. But yeah, you've always got to look out for the picks from the Maestro. But we are going to see a Rook, a Duck, and a Maestro. So we're seeing ACOG City right now from Immortals, as we see a lobby press room defense. So yeah, not favoring that new site of the Archives and Visa.
They just don't want to go there yet. Combine those 3 ACOGs with that Valkyrie, and I feel like we're going to see some aggression, I think.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Right, we jump right back in, and you've got to think, well, FaZe, they had the makings of what started off as a good push. They got a couple of lucky moments, as we commented. The Buck managed to enter because the mirror needed to rotate. How much of that they knew or not, I don't really know unless you're listening into their comms. But at the same time, they generally struggled on their push. So, what are they going to change up in terms of that? They've got 3 self-destruction this time. Mav, Astro, and Cameraman all bringing that. They have the rotation cover, and they have this Thatcher again.
Anytime that I see a Duck, a Rook, and a Maestro all on this site is very reminiscent of the US Nationals game between Obey Alliance and Strength, where, yeah, everyone was just spawn peeking from Strength and just, yeah, very aggressive plays coming out. Maybe we'll see a little bit of that. And remember Yardi in that just came out and just destroyed absolutely everyone from Obey. And yeah, maybe we'll see some of that coming out.
Still see PX throwing those Valkyries outside as it's just unfathomable how they haven't decided to find a way to counter that. I want to see what the plan is here with this Thatcher. Why are you bringing that more important than a hard destructor? Cyber, what are you doing outside? As that is a very easy pick from Moringa. Toe-to-toe with the Blackbeard and running out? I'm not 100% sure what the build-up to that could have been.
I mean, he was trying to play against the Blackbeard and show he was trying to play aggressively, but to run that far out of Yellow Stairs and still contest the spawn peak? Yeah, I don't know about that one, Chief.
Wasn't the best decision-making we've seen, but you could say that about a few rounds so far. They have a 2-round buffer. However, they are slowly starting to close down in towards the main entrance, main lobby. Is the Mav of Blackbeard. PX is worried about someone rotating up from underneath. A fair shout, but it seems like a lot of the damage so far is coming from above. Blackbeard again holding their rotations from the top of Yellow Stairs as the drones go out ahead of them, and it's Mav who is trying to watch the long angles to pick apart the defense.
Astro will find yet another of the defense here. One goes down. That's both the Rook and the Duck already off the board. Getting a little bit too aggressive for their time here. It would seem Immortals down to a 5v3, but they can still bring this back. There hasn't really been that much work done by FaZe yet. They haven't really gained too much control. They haven't really affected the utility on the site. And they haven't actually picked any of the operators who are actually on the site itself.
No, it's kind of peculiar. I mean, you commented at the beginning, they've got the 3 ACOGs. They have the ability to take these fights at range. And yeah, 2 of those are off the board. But there's a minute left, and they still haven't taken down the soft wall on the front of lobby. There's Novus finding Cameraman, getting one of the return frags. There's a double, beautifully takes care of Astro. Perfectly timed in terms of the defense. PX gets hit by the cook grenade. Yuna cleans up that frag. The gas goes up. The grenade comes down. This is throwing heaven here.
Yeah, Nova's going to try and peek around, try and find the Blackbeard, but he can't. Moringa finds him with a headshot. That could have been another beautiful clutch from the Maestro, but unable to make it work, will go down. FaZe Clan take their first attack round.
They were quite slow and steady with it. They obviously got, I would say, they were handed the first frag against the very aggressive Doctor that wanted to toe-to-toe with the Blackbeard on the Blackbeard's home turf of the spawn. But from then on, it was very slow and steady. However, obviously, you look at the frags across the board from these first 3 rounds on Immortals, and a lot of the work is being done by that Maestro of Novice.
Yeah, almost all the work from Novice there. It will be going pretty well for him so far, regardless of how the result of this game turns out. Immortals looking pretty good on this defense so far. And as we said before, FaZe Clan are typically a team that do better on attack, but we haven't really seen any of that from them. And I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen the Glaz from Yuno.
Yeah, that's the thing. As I've said a couple of times now, I just want to know the reason for this Thatcher pick. I want to know what he's bringing to this setup. Obviously, on this point, it's obvious. On this point, we saw the speed at which they took down this wall previously. They have the hard destruction for the first time since the other time. But on the previous 2 rounds, you know, the information that was being fed from the Valk, the use of just having something to strengthen that push, there's a lot of possibilities for that 5th spot. I just think, what else could be there?
Maybe it's just general acting against traps and things is a little bit of a counter to Maestro and other cameras and things like that. So yeah, EMPs can be fairly useful across the board, but yeah, I agree. I think the Thatcher is not the play here for every single site, but it is definitely for this basement site. So we'll have to see that going through. We'll see how the rest of it gets executed. We've been to run it before. We'll see fairly aggressive mirror windows this time coming out from 1.
You can see obviously the mute being brought out to protect those hatches and those drop downs. Very important. Novice opening those top sight lines as well, where he's going to be playing. I mean, playing generally most places very well. I think FaZe, they need a little bit of pepper in their step. I think they're kind of struggling to break down those first frags and those first picks that we know that they're so capable of. In the previous round, they started to get 1 or 2, but you can see they're kind of, well, not scared, but they're cautious. I think and cautious isn't the worst thing in the world if you can find the frags in and amongst that. However, there it is. Novice with another one, dropping Astro at the top of the map.
Beautiful picks again coming up from Novice. I mean, I'm normally fairly critical of a Maestro roam, but he's doing incredibly well with it so far, having gotten a early pick so many times in a row now. But the jackal tracking is going to come out here from Cameraman, just going to be seeing exactly what is going down for him so far. But Cyber is going to be playing around into console office, supporting the Maestro here of Novice. And yeah, looking pretty good so far for Immortals.
Yeah, they do seem to have, they're doing the roam clear across the top. There's a minute 45 left. There's plenty of time. At the same time, they have those drop downs open. They have quick rotations top to bottom. A lot of people will look at this and go, why don't they push straight to site? There's Cameraman dropping Cyber, but because of what we just saw, they open those drop downs, and you can go from top to bottom via those drop downs on this point in about 5 seconds. So it's very important to make sure that they are covered. And in fact, if any of you guys were watching the Pro League the other day and saw the secret Mocket match, the use of this map, the use of the rotations in this drop down was out of this world. An unbelievable game. You've got to be cautious of that kind of stuff. But you can see there's a minute left on the clock. They are starting to kind of close down. Yuke's playing a little bit freely in lobby. There's not an immediate pressure there. Moringa and Mav holding angles. Cameraman again. The Jackal wants to start closing down from circle, but they're running out of time.
They are running out of time indeed. Yuno will start to push down onto yellow stairs, but only 45 seconds left to go. And they haven't really even affected the site at all. They've only just finished their roam clear. Lots of wasted time here, it seems. And Immortals still have 4 people on the board, and they still have Nitros. They still have roamers, it seems, as well. As Yuk will peek out, but does get pushed out by Cameraman, does take him down. Beautifully done there from FaZe, but that may be too little too late. Lots of time wasted there by Yuk right at the end. 20 seconds left to go on the clock. And looking pretty good for Immortals to try and hold on to this. Still got huge amounts of utility to bring this in. PS going to peek out to Yellow, takes down Uno with a headshot. Beautiful. Nitro goes out. Cameraman does find the frag, however, but Moringa finds PX before he can go down. Novice going to be pushing around, trying to see if he can deny the plant, but Mav runs all the way in. Takes down Novice from pipes, and a beautiful bit of an execute right at the last second there from FaZe Clan. Sees their second attack win.
Now that was last second. That was skin of your teeth. That was some beautiful play. And as you said, they are kind of buying their time and waiting their time. But we look at the scoreboard again, and Novice 10-2. Two Immortal players still not off the scary donut that is often cited and seen. And it's not all about frags. Siege is a brilliant game about teamwork and utility. However, if there is one player that is that unbalanced in your fragging and you're putting that much reliance upon him, it can make things a little bit scary.
It can make things just a little bit scary. We're going to move through into the final defensive for Immortals, and regardless of how good this was at the start of Immortals' defense, it quickly was taken away by FaZe right at the end there in those last 30 seconds or so. So we're going to move through into another garage and cafeteria defense coming out here from Immortals and see if they can pull off something a little bit better this time.
Yeah, they do have obviously the Mirror, the Maestro is back in action, the Jaeger, the Smoke, and the Meat. The lineup is a good lineup. I mean, they've opted to go without the Valkyrie this time, which, you know, if it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. I'll always, as a Valk main, shout about how useful she can be, especially on a map like this when unbanned. But to be honest, FaZe don't seem that fussed about going for it or clearing for it. Instead, they're trying to bring the fight internally. They're trying to pick up those frags. And, you know, the cameras are up, but PX was generally playing back on site either way. So it's not in their playbook. They need to bring out something. Here, you can see they're reinforcing a lot of drop-downs and hatches as well. So I want to see how much they throw upstairs this time.
Yeah, I think a lot of this defense as well is coming down to Novi's as well, who's had a pretty good game so far and is going to get pretty confident when he goes for the spawn peak. Almost gets the head of Mav there. And we'll go for the pre-fires. And oh, how does Mav survive that? He's going to be going away with just about 50 HP, but Novi's is still committed to the spawn peak as he returns back and onto Yellow.
Well, that was that thick bucket jacket for the winter coming in. Very useful there, absorbing those Maestro bullets, but you can just see the confidence in the way Novice is playing at the minute. He is taking no prisoners, and fair enough, because he is backing up the confidence. They're already starting to push, though. This is the fastest we have seen FaZe, and Astro finds Cyber very quickly. They are already knocking on the door of the point. This must be taking Immortals by a bit of surprise, because this hasn't been what they've faced yet.
Not at all. Novice has managed to return back to the site in cafeteria to see what he can do here. And there's lots of horizontal play. He's going to get ripped up here from one. Try and open up a rotate back into the hallway onto Spiral to see what he can do there to affect the situation. Also, pre-fires coming down. But as you said, yeah, very, very quick from FaZe so far. Just knocking on the door of cafeteria. Mav is going to rotate down along with Astro, sorry, as they will start to move through and see if they can push into this cafeteria, if they can make something work here.
Now, obviously, Cyber being dropped isn't great, but if there's someone you are okay to lose in this kind of situation, it's one of your early setups. It's your Jaeger. His gun is amazing, don't get me wrong, but over the choice between something like, well, Astro and Mav picking up two more. They're the two most vital ops not to lose, and a beautiful pixel pick there from Mav. And what was that? I am lost for words. There is one of those things that you just never really expect to see.
I think Yuk just wanted to end it all there.
Yeah, I think that's the only reasonable explanation you can put to that. Wow, that was unfortunate to be caught on camera, I think, is all you can say.
Yeah, definitely. So bad from Yuk right at the end. But yeah, I think that this is just all coming down to Novi's, and it's kind of easy to carry your team through. Well, not easy, but, you know, it's possible to do that on the defense. A little bit harder on the attack.
Oh, yeah. You got to show up as a team on the attack. You got to work as a unit. And against a team like FaZe, who even when they have off days and even when they have off games, they're still quite tight as a team. They can do a lot of their plans in their sleep, it seems, at some point. So you've got to be ready for that. And I mean, we say that he's carrying it, and we just saw one of the current Donut players pull off that. You do question whether the communication's running great on Immortals.
Yeah, I've definitely got to question that. Let's see how it does go down as round number 6 gets underway. We'll see exactly how FaZe can handle this and their first defense. And they're going to be bringing in the castle, which, you know, we haven't really seen a lot of from either team, really. No,
they haven't really relied on it. Obviously, they are now into their defensive side. They had the choice to remove the mirror. As you said, not super powerful on this map. There's maps where Mira completely controls the game, and there's maps where she controls points. And don't get me wrong, it's nice to have, but it's not the be-all and end-all, and this is one of those maps, obviously. But they have her now, and they have a defensive setup. They have also opted not to bring a Valkyrie. In fact, they haven't really got many out there operators in terms of information gathering at all. They've not got a Pulse, they've not got Echo, Maestro, or Valkyrie.
Yep, Novus just hops all the way in, through onto benches, gets onto Spiral, and is already ready to open this up. They don't even realize that he's here. He's going to try and open this up, it seems, onto the top of Spiral, and just go for a quick jump first before making sure he knows what he's getting himself into here, while the rest of his team move through to try and go for an admin take here. Looks like they are going to go repelling around. Flashbangs do go through to burn the ADSs, and that is a really bad position for Astro to be in right now.
Yeah, he's kind of a little bit rocking a hard place there as all the grenades and utilities start flying over his shoulders. He's clearing downstairs, trying to make sure that they can push all the way up. And obviously, as you said, the speed at which Fast Ash got control. But there is Yuke catching out Cameraman on his camera, living up to his name, kind of unfortunately, at that moment in time. A very easy pick up for Yuke, who's probably going to be playing his heart out now to pull himself back from the C4 incident, I think we'll call it. Mav has the back of Astro, but it's going to take more than just some cover from Mira. That they need to get control of that Mira window if they want to start taking admin office. But again, it's just a matter of closing down.
Definitely looking pretty good for them indeed, as the impacts do go down. Mav rotates all the way through. Where is this man going right now? He's got no impacts, unless it's a 2v5. It's all down to Mav and Moringa. As Mav has managed to rotate all the way through, he's getting his way onto Spiral. I don't think Cyber quite realizes what's going on here, and he does get picked. Mav takes him down, but instantly traded out by Novus, who's still downstairs for some reason. And Moringa has made his way back into the bathroom, it seems. Sees what he can do here. Doesn't bring out a shotgun just yet. Why would you rotate like that? Novus just white peeks and it takes down. I just don't understand what is going on here right now, as Novus is just carrying this team.
They often say, in best of threes, a lot of it comes down to stamina. A lot of it comes down to some teams, they can just keep going, and they can keep going at the highest level that you've got to do, which is arguably what this
and I understand that. But Novus is 12-3 right now.
Yeah. Some people are very good at that stamina. And some people, some teams, unfortunately, can't quite live up. And it does take a lot out of you. We've had a few rehosts as well.
Know, this really reminds me of the situation that happened during the OGA NA, where Hot and Cold was just on a heater. This is the best way to say it. And they just told him, okay, just play fraggers. And just go in there and try and kill everyone. Eclipse did the same thing during their third map. And yeah, there was a lot of weird stuff that happened in the SK versus Rogue game. But yeah, I think this is very reminiscent of that, where Novi's on the heater right now, and they were just like, okay, just play Ash then. Just play Ash, just run straight in and just kill everyone apparently. And it's working somehow right now. And FaZe just do not have an answer for Novis right now.
Yeah, they're really just shutting them down. I know we said it's hard for one person to carry an attack, but he's trying his darndest. We will see how they try and counter this. Obviously, they've bought the castle back. They're opting for the same point. They have the mirror, the smoke. The Valk is the big change. Yet again, Valk is showing her face on this map, and that information is so good for a team up against Novice is unbelievable. He's on fire, he's electric, he is every definition of the word in the moment.
Yeah, definitely in the moment indeed. Balcams are going to go out from Mav, however, and I'm kind of surprised that FaZe aren't playing more to their strength, just running out everywhere. Although, in the way in which Immortals went about their take through admin, it's kind of hard to do that.
Yeah, I mean, there's times and there's places and there's teams that your strategies work against. You have the tightest strats in the world, but against some teams they don't work, and against some teams they do. That's when your team is tested, though. That's when you've got to start thinking of ways to shake it up. That's why we do scrims and VODs and practice and practice and practice and practice, because that's how you learn this stuff. Cameraman, again, he was caught out on the staircase last time by these speeds, so he's probably a bit more cautious about being on his drones. Again, it seems like they're going for a similar hold they had last time. Maybe they're just going to say, well, this time let's just do it properly.
Yeah, flashbangs are going to go out into the kitchen closet here, and that's going to confirm that all the ADSs have indeed been burned. And it's going to make it pretty hard to hold on to that area. Unit on the mirror, still playing around where he can, but it's going to be the Jaeger of Astro who's actually in kitchen this time.
See, they want to start closing. They need to lock out. That mirror window is so powerful in keeping control of admin, but instead Cyber's just going to go and pre-fire Astro. Beautiful take there. Yuke gets Mav in the meantime, and that was a perfect swing and kill.
Absolutely beautiful coming out there from Cyber. Just go for the pre-fire, predicting perfectly when Astro would peek that mirror window. He would go down as a 3v5 situation. Now looking terrible for FaZe to try and hold on to this right now, as Cameraman looks to try and rotate up Spiral, as Novice is outside onto the balcony. See what he can do here. Cyber's going to spot out that there is in fact a laser sight right there, and he's going to know there's someone looking at that door. As Novice move up into the side, but it's going to be the mirror from Connect that takes him down. Beautiful shot from Yuna, but Cameraman moves all the way up and going to find the Yuk, who's just prone outside of Spiral for some reason. And it's going to be all into the hands. Moringa, Yuna, and Cameraman, but Yuna finds the yeet. He gets down Novice and turns it into a 3v3. Beautiful nitro coming out from Yuna there. 40 seconds left to go for Immortals to do something.
Yoked for sure now. We see as they start to close it down. Cameraman gets Cyber. This is FaZe waking up, and obviously Novus has been such a big part, but him off the board is a very big take, just in terms of momentum. If someone's having a hot game, you need to drop them quickly. Buck still obviously has used all utility and goes for the skeleton key push, but it is easily picked up by Moringa, and Yuna cleans up PX.
Absolutely unsuccessful for them there right at the end, and FaZe do take their first defense.
The skeleton key rush. I mean, it's a strat, the shotgun rush, don't get me wrong, but they were waiting. They knew you were going to do that. Look at the scoreboard, though. 12-4. Still a very exceptionally impressive one. Unfortunately, struggling to get off the bottom of the scoreboard there. And then you look at FaZe, and we've said, even when FaZe are having off days and off games, the strategies and the strat book and how they work together as a team is always so balanced. It's always so practiced, and it really shows.
Definitely. Let's move through into round number 8. And we're going to see a lobby press room defense coming out here from FaZe, but looking for a bit of an alternate strategy to how Immortals held this. If you remember, they all just picked ACOGs and went peek, 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 peek.
They did. And we're seeing a castle, we're seeing a legion, we're seeing a smoke, we're seeing a lot of possibility to slow down pushes, which, to be fair, with the speed that Ash Novus has been on, that's not a bad plan.
Not a bad plan at all. Let's see how round number 8 goes underway, and let's see exactly how FaZe can try and hold on to this, just a couple of rounds away from locking out the series into their favor. But anything can happen. We are seeing a castle here from Cameron. I wonder if he's going to castle out benches, because I feel like that's the only reason why you would make that rotate.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about this point is obviously, as you said, we saw them bring in a lot of ACOs the previous time this one was defended, and that is one way to hold it. But the use of castle, you've got the windows to think about, you've got the main lobby door some people do. Some people like to close off the rotation, just seeing him run through now, just to funnel them to your front, down the stairs as well. Instead, it looks like he's going a little bit wide with his final panel, and he's going to not put it up, go for the push with that EG skin. So I guess he's holding us in suspense where he's going to put that final one down.
Definitely. Let's see how it goes down as we move into round number 8. Lots of drones coming out here from Immortals to see exactly what the situation is, but there's a pretty heavy hold of Visa here from FaZe, both Astro and Cameraman holding on to this area, as Yuno going to be playing around into Piano to see what he can do there.
Well, he's waiting for the push onto that yellow stairs entrance door, at least. He's hoping they're kind of stacking up on that side, but it seems like instead they're generally pushing from opposite side. It's not really getting much stress against his defense there. Obviously, vertical control is exceptionally important for a point like this. You can see PX and Cyber and Yuke all closing down on it very quickly. Gonna find the Legion straight away, but Moringa is the one to actually pick off the frag. Almost gets the double, just walking straight into the shotgun, and he does!
Beautiful shots coming out from Moringa there, turning it into a 5v3. That's already the Capitao off the board, who for some reason peeked so far up and still didn't get the kill. Absolute disaster there for Yuke, as Cyber will start to push all the way through onto the hallway. He's getting so lit up now from Spiral. There's just so much going on here for FaZe that they do have still so much control. Quick beats are going to be coming through from Cyber, but Novi still managed to find the kill onto Mav. All the way from the bathroom, just push all the way in through on top of Spiral. And he just snuck all the way up there. Those sneaky crouch walking Ashes.
Thing now, obviously you saw that he got the shotgun corner kill, and that's always a big kill. You get them as soon as they pop round. And then Capitao went for the frag push, even whilst having all utility. You had the ability to smoke him out and push him out, and you didn't. You pushed. These are the kind of decisions we just keep being made in these firefights. They're questionable, but Novus locks up another one, taking care of Moringa at the same time as talking about people making questionable decisions. He's just fragging them out.
He will start fragging them out indeed. Turns into a 3v3, of course. Novi's doing the work for his team right now to try and bring them back. He's found 2 kills, but Yuna shuts him right on down. As I say, that's casting curse right there. As we will see how it goes down. 3v2 situation. Cyber and one, not Cyberman, but just the Cyber. As Cyber will start to rotate through onto console. But it's only those 2 left. One still starting to move through into the lobby, still trying to find his kill. Will peek the wrong way, and Asher will shut him down. Now all into the hands of Cyber. He has the diffuser, trying to push it onto the lobby to see if he can plant it somewhere here, but not looking too good for him at all. Asher will confirm the kill, but Cyber trades it right on back, but Cameraman will be the one to trade him right on back, as FaZe Clan take round number 8 and put themselves on map and match point.
Match point, they've pulled this back after being 2-0 down at the beginning, and to be fair, as we said at the very beginning of this map, they've really looked like they were struggling. And as time's gone on, the decision making from them has generally stayed at the same level. They've been locking us down, they've been moving as a team. However, as I said before, Immortals, they just keep making these slightly questionable decisions. They're doing runouts that, yeah, sometimes they pay off, but that's the one in a million. They're pushing shotguns at close quarters instead of using utility to force them out and force them out of position. So you do generally think maybe Immortals are just struggling on this third map after the kind of the third map stamina blues, I would say it is. But we go to Cafe and Garage for potentially match point. Smoke, Mirror, Mute Jaeger, and Pulse from Mav.
The 6th pick is going to be coming out from the Legion onto the Pulse, but really interesting 6th pick coming out from PX. I'm wondering what he's going to be 6th picking onto, considering that it is a Garage defense right now, and he's got to be aware that it's a Garage defense. But he is going to be singing, but okay, back to
the I mean, Buck's good. Habana isn't reliable enough to take that Garage though down. It's so integral to get that down. You kind of need your thermite for that wall. It's one of those places where you'd be crazy not to bring him, especially when you're on match point against a team that is playing very, very well. You've got to rely on some of the old familiars as a way of putting it. But we'll see how they use the double hard destruction. They have Cyber Sledge to go above as well. DeKavi being brought out too. And Ash on Novus, who you say sometimes Ash as an operator is picked. One of the most common things to follow that up with is, why are you picking Ash? this is a perfect example of why, if you are entry fragging so well, if you are getting those numbers, and if you are good enough to know that you can keep picking these fights and winning them, as Novice is, that's when you bring an Ash. I think the perfect example, if you were watching the most recent major, was Mary, I believe.
Yeah, definitely. Just a quick note, you see what happened to Cyber's drone there? It tried to make its way, it got through one of the doors and then instantly got destroyed. And I think that's why Cyber was a little bit upset in the chat.
It's always a scary thing when your drone is instantly destroyed. You feel connected to every drone that gets sent through. That's why drone economy...
drone lives matter.
Protect your drones. Drone lives matter out here. Now, cameraman covering that close angle, again, ready to make sure that no one pushes that instantly with drones. And you can see Cyber already upstairs digging his way down.
Yeah, he's going to start opening up quite a decent amount of the vertical play to see what he can do here. Lots of drones are going to start coming out here. And Cyber just still desperately trying to find some angle here. Maybe trying to go for a nade. The Nitro is going to come out from Yuna. Not going to be able to find the kill just yet. Still trying to peek this very desperate angle. We're going to see the DKB coming out from Yuk. And Mav could get a beautiful Nitro here. He is going to secure it. Beautiful from Mav. And Yuk is off the board immediately.
You always like to see all of that. Yuna finds Novice as well. And again, this is looking worse and worse for Immortals. They've got to pull something out in this final round. The thermite charge is going down. They're opening up the drop downs to allow themselves to rotate back to point as well. Again, that's very quick and very effective rotates. You can see how they've reinforced all the way around it. That's how you like to do it. But Mav finds Immortals 5 versus 2. The bullets are flying over. That's some beautiful shooting there from Cyber to at least start pulling this back. But if he does loop over, he will fall straight down the drop down. So he has to go the long way around to pick up that frag.
Yeah, he does have to indeed go the long way around to see if he can pick up the frag. But it's going to be Yuna who tries to drop down, but no, they can't save him. Oh, unfortunate. Yuna's going to go down to Cyber. That's going to be a 4v2 situation now to see what can happen here. Cyber going to try and open up some vertical play to see if he can get some picks through there at all, but only 35 seconds left to go on the clock. PX desperately trying to find any peaks that he can. It's like drones are going to start coming out as well, as Immortals still desperately trying to find any peaks that they can. Cyber's still trying to see if he can get a vertical play on the go, but just absolutely nothing here for Cyber. He's going to try and open up a hatch. PX tries to make his way down the spiral, but he's going to get smoked out. Cyber does find the entry kill into Mav. There is potential here, but there's absolutely no rotate down that he can make to go through. Cameraman's still going to be holding down onto this backside as PX moves all the way in. And it's going to be Cyber who goes down. PX takes his pistol out, but can't find the pick. There the GG well plays come out. It's FaZe take round number 9, and they'll take the series 2-0. And that particular map, 6-3. And I would actually like to point out that Dino from the studio, I believe, did say that FaZe were going to take the last map 6-3, and I have no idea how he predicted that, but he has made the correct prediction.
The man has powers. He has magical powers. And I don't just say that because he's in control of the cameras and the volume of my headset. But we go in now. That is the next matches that we'll be seeing. Obviously, we're going to have a little bit of a break, but Ninjas in Pajamas versus FaZe is going to be the top bracket game. And at the same time, if we have a look at the bottom bracket, the next set of games we'll be watching will be Liquid vs Bootcamp and Team 1 against Black Dragons as well. Oh, it's on the screen as well. And then Immortals from Pain Gaming drop down to the lower bracket. Now, it's not the end of the story for them yet by any means. They can play all the way up and still win the major prize.
Yeah. But I would also like to point out that Ninjas in Pajamas and FaZe Clan, because of their victories today, have secured at least 3rd place and have secured at least $2,700 prize. So very well done to them, and very well-deserved victories. We will see the winners' finals later this week, I believe, or maybe next week, I think. But I think it's next week. Yeah, next week we'll also see the rest of the games come through. But for now, goodbye and good night.
See you next time.